Meet the African king who controlled the world's gold, the story of Mansa Musa. In a world rich in history and overflowing with empires that rose and fell, one man stood at the pinnacle of unimaginable wealth and influence. His name was Mansa Musa, the ruler of the Mali Empire during the 14th century, a king whose opulence was so profound, his fame crossed continents and seas. This is the story of the richest man who ever lived, his legendary journey through vast deserts and opulent cities, and his profound impact on the medieval world. Join me as we travel back in time to the heart of Africa, where gold flowed in abundance and the grandeur of a king would forever alter the pages of history. In the early 14th century, the world was a mosaic of thriving cultures and empires, each carving out their legacy beneath the sun. Among these, the Mali Empire shone brilliantly under the rule of Mansa Musa, a king whose wealth was so vast that it was said he could control the flow of gold across the known world. Mansa Musa ascended to the throne by both lineage and skill, inheriting a kingdom that was vast in both territory and resources. Mali was the linchpin in the Trans-Saharan gold trade, a network that connected the forests of West Africa to the bustling markets of Cairo, Medina, and beyond. Under Musa's reign, the empire flourished economically and culturally, becoming a beacon of learning, Islam, and architecture. However, it was in 1324 that Mansa Musa embarked on a journey that would etch his name in the annals of history with golden letters. He set out on a pilgrimage to Mecca, an undertaking so magnificent that it would become the stuff of legends. Accompanied by a caravan that stretched as far as the eye could see, Mansa Musa traveled with thousands of soldiers, slaves, and heralds draped in the finest silks and carried a fortune in gold. As he traversed the Sahara Desert, the sheer scale of his procession astonished onlookers. In Cairo, his generosity with gold was so lavish that it caused the market to crash, devaluing the metal for several years. Yet, this act of generosity also won him allies, influencing the Islamic world and showcasing the splendor of Mali to regions far beyond his own. Throughout his journey, Mansa Musa not only displayed his wealth but also his devotion to Islam, visiting holy sites and meeting with scholars and rulers. His pilgrimage elevated the status of Mali within the Islamic world, turning it into a center of trade, culture, and religious scholarship. Upon his return to Mali, Mansa Musa embarked on a grand project to build mosques and learning centers, the most famous being the University of Sankore in Timbuktu. Under his patronage, Timbuktu became a center of knowledge that attracted scholars from across Africa and the Middle East, helping to preserve and enrich Islamic and African heritage. Mansa Musa's rule is a testament to how wealth, wisely wielded, can create legacies that last beyond lifetimes. His story is not just one of riches, but also of cultural and intellectual investment that reshaped the Mali Empire and influenced both the African continent and the world beyond. Certainly. Let's delve deeper into the impact of Mansa Musa's reign and his lasting legacy. Mansa Musa's return from Mecca marked the beginning of a transformative era for Mali. The gold that flowed freely from his hands during his pilgrimage was a clear message to the world. Mali was a powerhouse of wealth and culture, but Mansa Musa's vision extended far beyond mere displays of wealth. He was determined to turn his empire into a citadel of Islamic learning and architectural grandeur. Under his auspices, cities like Timbuktu and Gao were transformed. Architects and artisans from across the Islamic world were invited to Mali, bringing with them the knowledge and skills that would help to craft a landscape adorned with magnificent structures. Among these, the Jingwa Riber Mosque in Timbuktu stands as a testament to the architectural renaissance that took place. Built of limestone and earth with wooden beams jutting out like ribs against the sky, the mosque was not only a place of worship, but also a center of learning, housing one of the most significant libraries of the Islamic world at the time. Mansa Musa's investment in education created an intellectual climate that fostered significant scholarly work. The University of Sankore, for instance, became the fulcrum around which the intellectual life of West Africa rotated. Here, in the dusty rooms lined with scrolls of Islamic jurisprudence, mathematics, astronomy, and medicine, scholars from around the world gathered to exchange ideas and knowledge. The impact of this was profound, as Timbuktu became synonymous with a beacon of light in the world of knowledge, much like Baghdad or Cairo. Economically, Mansa Musa's reign marked the height of the Mali Empire's power. The gold mines of the region were so prolific that they accounted for nearly half of the Old World's gold, according to contemporary estimates. This wealth allowed Mansa Musa to maintain a vast and well-equipped army, and to control trade routes that were crucial not only for commerce, but also for the spread of ideas and culture across the Saharan Divide. However, the abundance of gold in Mali under Mansa Musa's rule also brought challenges, particularly from the envious eyes of neighboring states and distant empires. To safeguard his realm, Musa established strong diplomatic ties and sent ambassadors across Africa and to the Middle East, fostering a network of alliances that ensured Mali's security and its place on the world stage. Mansa Musa's rule is also a story of spiritual and cultural synthesis. His pilgrimage and subsequent building projects infused Mali with a blend of traditional African practices and Islamic culture, creating a unique cultural synthesis that resonated throughout the empire. This blend is still evident today in the cultural practices of Mali and neighboring regions. The legacy of Mansa Musa endures not just in the grandeur of the monuments he left behind or the gold that once flowed through the empire, but in the rich tapestry of cultural and intellectual pursuits that he championed. His reign is a powerful reminder of Africa's rich contribution to the world's history, a narrative of wealth, wisdom, and respect that transcends time and geography. Mansa Musa's return from Mecca marked the beginning of a transformative era for Mali. As we continue to explore the multifaceted reign of Mansa Musa, it's essential to consider the broader implications of his leadership on international relations and global perceptions of Africa during the medieval period. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca did more than display his wealth. It repositioned the Mali Empire within the global map, forging connections that transcended geographical and cultural boundaries. These connections were not merely symbolic, they were functional, facilitating trade agreements and cultural exchanges that enriched both Mali and the nations Musa interacted with. The king's interactions with the Arab and European world also played a crucial role in altering global perceptions of Africa. Prior to Musa's reign, much of Europe regarded Africa south of the Sahara as a distant, mysterious land. Mansa Musa's display of wealth and the accounts of his kingdom's sophistication, brought back by travelers and scholars, began to challenge these perceptions. His kingdom was a testament to the continent's richness, not only in terms of material wealth, but also in cultural and intellectual achievements. These interactions also had implications for maps of the world. The famous Catalan Atlas, created in 1375, is one of the most significant medieval maps to feature Mansa Musa, depicted holding a gold nugget. This map is a testament to Musa's impact on the world's understanding of geography and the significance of West Africa in the global economic and cultural system. Under Mansa Musa, Mali became a crossroads of the world, a place where traders from Venice could meet scholars from Cairo and artisans from Andalusia. This cosmopolitanism fostered an environment of learning and curiosity that propelled the intellectual pursuits for which Timbuktu would become famous. The city's libraries and universities became the repositories of knowledge, preserving works not only from Africa but also from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. The end of Mansa Musa's reign did not mark the end of his influence. His successors continued to build upon his legacy, although none would reach the same heights of fame and fortune. The structures he built, both physical and societal, would endure beyond his death, serving as foundations for future generations. His model of leadership, marked by its emphasis on education, religion, and international diplomacy, remained a gold standard for rulers in Mali and beyond. Reflecting on Mansa Musa's reign offers more than a glimpse into a golden age of African history. It provides a lens through which to understand the potential for governance that honors cultural wealth and diversity, seeks knowledge, and values strategic diplomacy. Mansa Musa's story is a compelling reminder of Africa's role in shaping the world, a narrative that resonates with lessons on leadership, vision, and the enduring power of cultural exchange. As we conclude the saga of Mansa Musa, we are left with a vivid portrait of a ruler whose influence stretched beyond the vast deserts of Africa to touch the corners of the known world. His reign was not merely a period of wealth accumulation, but a golden age of cultural flourishing, architectural innovation, and scholarly achievement. Mansa Musa's story teaches us about the power of visionary leadership and the profound impact it can have on civilization. Mansa Musa transformed Mali into a thriving empire that was respected across continents for its wealth, wisdom, and contribution to global culture. His strategic governance, economic acumen, and diplomatic prowess are as relevant today as they were in the 14th century. His legacy challenges us to reconsider the narratives of African history and recognize the continent's role in shaping global economic and cultural landscapes. If Mansa Musa's story has inspired you, consider the ways in which we can learn from his leadership and wisdom in today's world. Engage with history, seek out stories of great leaders from all cultures, and reflect on how their legacies can inform contemporary issues and opportunities. Share this story with others to spread the knowledge of Africa's rich heritage and its influential figures. Let us honor Mansa Musa's legacy by promoting a deeper understanding and appreciation of the diverse contributions that shape our world. And finally, if you're inspired to explore more about African history or the impacts of historical figures like Mansa Musa on our modern world, click subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Dive deeper, learn more, and join the conversation about the rich tapestry of world history. Together, let's keep the legacy alive and ensure that the lessons from the past continue to enlighten our paths forward.